Over in Afghanistan, US and German military officers have met with families and victims of a NATO airstrike in northern Afghanistan. The move is being seen as a bid to cool anger over an incident that risks further undermining NATO efforts to win hearts and minds in the country. Yang Hong has more on the story.
A delegation led by U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Gregory Smith, head of public affairs for the 103,000 U.S. and NATO troops in Afghanistan, spoke with relatives and wounded civilians on Saturday. The meeting was part of an investigation by NATO into the exact number of civilian casualties caused by the strike. Afghan officials say scores of people were killed, many of them civilians, when a US 5-15 fighter jet called in by German troops struck two fuel trucks early Friday. NATO said its target in the raid were Taliban fighters who had hijacked the fuel trucks, but acknowledged that some of the victims were civilians.
There were 2 bombs dropped on that area. The sense was there were insurgents there, but we need to discover what really happened, what people were there, what local villagers might have been affected by this.
NATO commanders are hoping to avert a backlash over the incident, which comes 2 months after the new US and NATO commander ordered new procedures that require extra precautions to protect civilians before troops can fire. Also on Saturday, a suicide bomber targeted a German convoy and wounded 4 German soldiers near Kunduz city. Kunduz, a northern province that had been largely quiet since the Taliban was toppled in 2001, has recently seen a sudden surge in attacks, with fighters seizing control of remote areas. Yang Hong, CCTV.
The top NATO commander in Afghanistan has confirmed that local villagers were among those wounded at the site of an airstrike on hijacked fuel tankers. On Saturday, U.S. General Stanley McChrystal inspected the site where a U.S. fighter jet blasted the hijacked tankers a day earlier. That botched rescue mission killed as many as 70 people. The general declared his resolve to limit civilian casualties that threatened to undermine the war against the Taliban. Friday's pre-dawn strike took place despite McChrystal's new orders restricting the use of air power if civilian lives are at risk. A NATO team began an official investigation on Saturday amid a clamor from European leaders for answers. Several called the airstrike a tragedy and a big mistake that must be investigated.